Mei Wai, shall I hand the time to you to share with us the Wong's change model?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome and very happy to have all of you here this evening. Let me share with you the Change Insider perspective on why we are saying goodbye to the old way of brand change tonight. The situation is that today, brand change management and implementation as you know it, and over the past decades, tended to overemphasize outside change efforts like brand strategy, brand identity, digital marketing, even internal marketing. So tonight, I'm shining the spotlight on the lack of the emphasis of the inside brand change areas, which are critical for the success of achieving transformational change to build legacies. You see, the increasing speed of change has put pressures on organizations to be very clear on what's actually working with brand change moving forward. And today, I would like to share with you, I had dug further into this area through my brand change implementation experience as a consultant and interviews with owners, CEOs, and leaders who played instrumental roles in initiating, driving brand change processes. And extracting from the study, which you can see on the slide, how much brand change is needed to build legacy. And this research will be available in the INSEAD Business School Library in a couple of months' time. We will be uncovering the current gaps of the conscious and unconscious brand change elements that need to be uncovered through the IPA or interpretive phenomenological analysis. And through the study, we leverage on current organization change trends and integrated also into the brand change framework. And this change framework, as you will see, is a more holistic brand change. Next slide, please. I will now summarize the findings in presenting the change framework from uncovering both conscious and unconscious brand change elements. The brand change model, as you can see, makes explicit the various layers and components of outside focus and inside focus while adding a system psychodynamic perspective as a basis or foundation to help businesses navigate the change. It uncovers unconscious hidden dynamics and undercurrents of organization behavior which arises due to brand changes like social defense mechanisms that may be prevalent when organization anxieties are not properly managed. So what's outside brand change? Outside brand change are defined as changes that are more visibly linked to the external brand image or experience. As you can see here, outside 1 and outside 2. And inside brand change are the less visible brand change experiences that closely connect the brand to the people, the system, and the environment. Now, the new era, which we are moving into, of brand change should capture both visible and less visible changes in the known identity of a company in terms of products and services it offers and what companies in terms of rational, emotional benefits to consumers. So let me give you a real life example. Okay. During this period, we know everybody is rushing to digitalize or digitalize more. So when digitalization needs to take place, for instance, let's take a rush to set up the e-commerce during the pandemic. The immediate instinct for the companies that I'm seeing is to quickly rush to focus on outside 1 in designing their user experience, e-commerce site, their designs, etc., and organizing their merchandise. However, in a global setup that had traditionally been a brick and mortar, just imagine that, a traditional setup that originally relied on stores, right? The outside 2 areas, the purpose the platforms, the toolkits, they are not ready. So you will see many sites on e-commerce, and I'm sure many of you have noticed, eventually evolving to be extremely unattractive aesthetically. And they don't convey the values of the brands or the businesses. In the process, what actually happened? Because many of the things were done during lockdown or after the openings that took place. What actually took place was that legacy leaders in the organization sometimes requested to be retrained to take over the functions if they don't have time to hire new change leaders. And if they have time to hire new change leaders, what happens is that are they aligned in terms of the culture? And also do bear in mind the rest of the organization that have been very used to the traditional brick and mortar. Culture is all about having to make big change. If you want to make a change in culture, it's not so straightforward. As you can see, culture is in Insight 1. It's about giving up old assumptions and adopting new ones to relearn. And without the shift of this, you can't make a full brand change. Many do not realize that also, on top of that, while they are moving every day, going to work, dialing in from home, etc., people are not on board due to the anxiety and not actually being able to let go of the beliefs. Sometimes inside, they don't actually believe that things can't work. These are the psychodynamics we discussed in the study. So how does one know how to navigate the brand change? As you can see in my slide here, in addition, for the study, we also raised awareness and understanding of how to navigate outside and inside change to deliver transformational brand change to build family business legacies. An area we will be using for consulting and helping organizations to understand where they are now in brand change journey, the different forces of change they're facing, and how to move forward with the competitive environment and the complex marketplace. Now, one of the key findings was that there are 4 different approaches that we found that has been taken for brand change implementation by organizations. They are, firstly, the outside change. Secondly, the inside change. Thirdly, the inside out. And fourthly, the outside in change. And where these were based on a link to the purpose, the values, the generational stage, the culture, cross-functional structures, especially across brand, HR, and IT, ways of working, processes, platforms, etc. The second thing that I thought would be interesting to share with you was that companies that could navigate both outside and inside journeys, which are more complex, were in fact able to undergo more transformational brand change, resulting in things like acquisitions of brands, integration of new businesses, entering into completely new business categories. And this in turn enabled expansion into multiple markets globally with newly developed or acquired brands while creating a cohesive brand experience. Hence, before any businesses start their brand change journey, they should reflect on the current state of business and brand and the past experiences of the brand change, which segment they would be in, and then from here, plan and see where they can stretch to move forward in the context of planning with their brand change objectives so that they define what the primary role and outcome should be. So with that, I would like to pass you back to Laura.